Okay, let's see if this is working. I know it's quite a... Oh, I didn't know what I was thinking. Let's see if I can bring that chat up. All messages. It says top messages by default. I wonder what top message really means. Kind of reminds me of Test Drive Unlimited, where you drove around Hawaii and every hitchhike you picked up was a top model, and every guy was like a hobo. Like, I seriously, that was like the terms they used. It was like, okay, so homeless woman, top model, homeless guy, just a bum wanting a ride. When we get the chat going here, I will go in. I want to know if you guys can hear me or not. I want to move my hands around. Let's see. The light I was using to face me kind of broke off. Telescoping mechanism broke, and then from the base, I ordered another one from Amazon, and it actually came today, but I haven't shot the unboxing video for it for my other purposes. So let me see what I can do about this. If I just turn this light on, does that help alleviate the shadow? Does it make me look scarier? Actually, I might be able to wedge this here. Oh, that kind of works. New to here, yo. Okay, you know, I'm gonna wedge this sucker in. So we're gonna crank this up, and I'm gonna try to clamp it like this. See if this works. Okay, secure enough. Hey, this doesn't do bad. But still, I did need a new device. They had an upgraded model. It's called, the actual device is called the UniQ. I believe that's how they pronounce it over on their website. But all the knockoffs seem to be made in place. So I think UniQ is probably getting the stuff from AliExpress and charging like $80, and I paid $50, which it's probably going for $25 on AliExpress. I don't much trust that site. I've never used it, but I have reasons not to. And I'd rather try to get stuff more legit. The name brand, if possible, like my Rest. Well, I put it up, but well, I've got the fitted sheet nearby, but well, I can't reach the pillar. Anyways, I did actually do my diligence. I have a couple Blu-rays within arm's reach over here. I can talk about those 3 weeks later. Can do that. I guess we'll go ahead. Oh, we got 4 viewers. How you guys doing? Let's go ahead and get this party started. We're in the pipe 5x5. Opening a Celsius. Not sponsored. I did to using a... hold on, I don't want to get that everywhere. Battery-powered Deity mic. Looking back, it seems like that was giving me better audio than using the Apple earbuds. So I have been playing Dead Rising for the last day or so. I marathoned 8-hour session to complete the game. Dude, when are you going to get a co-host? How does one get a co-host? I had a guest. Is a guest not good enough? I have a co-host on my podcast. Last week's episode got 3 listens. So do I afford a co-host? Really? I don't think that this go live together is co-host accessible. I was told by a friend, a fellow local comedian, that, hey, you gotta do the vertical lives. Mine get a lot of views. I'm like, you're a girl. You have boobs. How can I get views doing that? I know. Bring a girl in and have her show her boobs. Didn't get more than 10 viewers during... at any one point, that is. So one of your friends who like I have friends, come on now. There are other ways to do lives, but these vertical lives in the shorts feed and stuff, and so people click on it. If you have a good looking thumbnail, people click on it. Hey, I clicked on it because of the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm not. I've tried the other stuff. You have to pay for the service so that you can get a more bespoke background and things. And actually, I've got headroom there. Can I tilt this down? You get so much more control, but you have to pay by the month. And I don't know if I really want to do that, especially if it's not like a daily stream sort of thing. You may. Oh, the first live feed I think I mentioned here. It's from Restream, I believe, and it was because I was joining Michael Jordan's The Best, his channel, to tell my LeBron James origin story. So that is that gets like redirected to everybody. So actually, more people watch his stream when it's co-streamed alongside from Angry Old Hoops Fan. But I don't really watch NBA basketball. I didn't have a whole lot else other to say about the game. I kind of just said everything I could there. I'm seeing that the NFL's kind of that way. NFL where, hey, everything is an injury. Head injuries are the worst. I know, let's get practice. I know, let's get rid of preseason games. I know, let's make more money by having more regular season games. They've diluted the product. Each of the first 2 weeks here, we just have more QB play. No one's playing ultra amazing. Maybe good 1 week, bad the next. It's going bad. I'll get to your question in a second. Like even Patrick Mahomes couldn't get 200 yards this past Sunday. It's God. Yeah. And the guys are getting paid more for doing less. It's crazy. I do not watch MMA. Firstly, you pretty much have to have ESPN Plus at this point. And then on top of that, you have to pay pay-per-view in addition to ESPN Plus. Christ. I don't understand that. I wonder what WWE is going to do because they're TKO. Are they going to leave Peacock because they have Raw coming to Netflix? And then are you going to pay for the pay-per-view type, like the old school pay-per-view if you have Netflix, the PLE Premium Live Event? I wonder if it's going to go down that way. Or you could live stream retro games, but you need less janky internet. Internet is usually pretty decent for streaming. I will do a stream tomorrow on Twitch, my Twitch, legendarybadass.com. My domain will redirect you to my Twitch, which is spelt out like my gamertag, Leet Speaks. Thank you, Microsoft. So I will be attempting the 7-Day Survivor achievement in the new Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. I haven't played this mode before, not on this game. I'm kind of waiting. I've got it unlocked. I do not have the Mega Man Blaster yet, but I am working on that. I might unlock that tonight to have as a backup item in case I need it for this challenge. I did this 20 years ago where it took 14 consecutive hours of play to complete. However, it's my understanding you can get this done in about 3 hours now because you look at your watch, zip, 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 everything goes around, and there you got to drink the milk because your health's depleting. But yeah, people are completing this in 2 hours or so. I am looking at... Jesus Christ, Siri just jump scared me. I am looking into fiber. So... fiber would be amazing, at least for streams. Every time I look back at these to see if the audio is good, it's like I'm pausing, but the audio is okay. But yeah, there is fiber in my neighborhood now, and so that's a relief. How about we get into movies a little bit? I picked up, really about a month ago, 2 French films that I had to read. And I don't like the reading. So I've got both of these from 1985. There's starring Gerard Depardieu and Sophie Marceau, and L'Amour Braque, starring Chechki Caro and Sophie Marceau. Chechki Caro, you remember him as Defense Minister Mishkin? I believe. In GoldenEye, used to like picking him in 007. He looked a cool guy. He didn't do shit in the movie. I think he had, what, one or two scenes? But I like to think of him as the villain. Fouché from Bad Boys. He was intense. That is a villain that doesn't get brought up enough. Seriously, he's just an intense dude. But both of these, Sophie Marceau's boobies, when it's kind of before she's out of her powers, she kind of looks like she's got a little bit of the. She was like a teen or preteen type star on a show called La Boom, I think. It means the party. Think of it like, actually, it's from like 1980, so it predates the Breakfast Club. Oh God, who's the guy who directs the Breakfast Club? And all of his movies are in Chicago. You know who I'm talking about. Man, now it's killing me. Christ. So what happens when you do it live, right? We do it live, like Bill O'Reilly. To make like a couplet of sorts, like poetry, it rhymes. So 285 French films. However, I might go another direction with this because I do have like hey, you want to see some movies from a good underrated Bond villain? Check these out. The thing is, this is like a pretty drama right here as far as realistic cop stuff goes. Realistic in the sense that it could be construed as anticlimactic. But as movies that kind of maybe inspired NYPD Blue in some sense to just give you a very grounded police procedural type thing, show you like the inner workings of the precinct. Pretty shitty precinct though, and a skeezy cop. But this right here, L'Amour Braque, is... Ooh, it's going to be a tough man. Actually, both these are pretty tough recommends. I may do a video for Prime or Amazon affiliate stuff first. Hughes, damn, John Hughes. Yeah, now hang me. This is so bizarre. The acting is so outlandish and over the top. It's not grounded. It's like a different type of trip. It almost feels like contemporary in the sense of 1985 Shakespeare, in a way. Like if William Shakespeare made a movie in 1985, it could be this. So those are two Blu-rays I picked up recently. I think I may have told you guys about Darkstalkers and The Fatal Fury. I watched The Fatal Fury. I think I didn't watch the movie yet when I last talked to you. I think I did. The Fatal Fury movie, there's a reason no talk about it on YouTube. Like it's an anime feature-length movie that was released in theaters, I believe at least in Japan, English dub. But the animation goes from a milliseconds and stills of super AAA quality to, is this an animated storyboard in the middle? And they don't actually do martial arts. There's a little bit of martial arts at the front of your movie on a fighting series. And then it becomes all summoning powers. You know, cast your power, whatever. Now I'm powering up and there's a blast. And look, I took a lot of shit from that Chun-Li was disrespected in Capcom's anime, which, by the way, way superior animation on that one. I'll be doing videos. Well, I think I've said stuff about, but I'll be comparing that to Akira because I've got them both in 4K. But my Shinganiru, something. She's like the fetish girl of SNK. Jesus Christ, I felt dirty watching this. Just out of nowhere, boobs are out, like her shirt flapping in the serious moments, and no one brings it up. And it is totally insane because it's like, okay, you got this stacked chick ninja who just is constantly losing her clothes. No one mentions it. It feels like we made a movie and then in post we said, let's turn it into a porn. Because the shots are way more explicit than what I'm saying. And yeah, it is sort of requiring like a freeze frame, but it was kind of like, I did. And this is, I mean, it says rated R. We don't cursing. It's not super violent, but we've got this shit in there. How did this come to be? And now this was released in 94, same year as the Street Fighter anime, which I think they actually call it Street Fighter 2 the movie or Street Fighter 2 the motion picture. And I will be getting to it before the end of the month. I will do a commentary track on the 1994 Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter. So, all right, let's go back into the questions. New to here. I know a few more people are coming. Will you watch It Follows 2? Not unless I am paid handsomely. You could do forgotten 80s movies. Yep. I mean, I really do kind of like to keep it 2002, say 82 to 2002. I like to work with that, if at all possible. That's my zone. If one were to say. Why don't you explain the courses you took in film school and the analytical skills they taught you? I didn't learn much. I learned non-diegetic sound is like the score you hear from John Williams in a film. Diegetic sound is the score that the characters hear. That is pretty much it. Otherwise, I felt like I was teaching classes. Largely, the stuff you do, like I hate to carry the torch here for Quentin Tarantino, but he's kind of right. Instead of spending the money going and learn how to shoot stuff, actually just go ahead and shoot stuff. What you get from trying to work everything out on your own, you kind of have more time when you have all the equipment on hand versus the 30 minutes you might get at the end of the day in school. So screw it. But as screenwriting goes, I did learn a few things. It's kind of a sad thing because the guy teaching the screenwriting, he would go on to win an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. But all of his movies he makes are not good because he's saddled with a terrible DP because he also is at the school. He's also a professor, so I guess we got to pair them up. Christ's sake. But yeah, let's see as classes go. And what could I tell you that's not out now? Like editing on Final Cut Pro and render times, is that much of a concern now? You know? So did you chase off Donna? I haven't seen it. He didn't make it last week. He asked me on Instagram if I was doing a stream tonight, and then he liked it when I said, yeah, I am, and it should show up as upcoming in my live feed or something. So I'm thinking he gets here. Hell, he probably already wrote something. I just haven't scrolled down to it. What anime is this? Doesn't sound as bad as... Okay. Wicked City is very rapey. Alarmingly so. Now, I did like Wicked City Shinjuku. I thought, hey, that's pretty good. And as an OVA, most of it looks pretty damn good. There are shots where it looks OVA. It doesn't, it's not ready for the theater. But Wicked City is just like, hey, it seems like it might be somewhat of a loose spiritual successor continuation of sorts. Same vein, I think it has the same crew. But instead, it's like, hey, I'm a demon and I live in the city over here and I'm going to pair up with you and we're going to be a cop duo. My ability as a demon cop is to just get raped by everybody. That will make you feel dirty also. And it's readily available. Stream it. I show up. That's something that's like on Tubi or Prime Video so much. Lots of rapey anime in the 80s. And I guess it's because at that point, mid-90s to the 90s, it wasn't mainstream in America. Once that stuff gets more mainstream in America, it gets toned down for sure. Yeah, hi, I'm from London. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'd like to sponsor your YouTube channel. Okay, so are you the guy that called me? Or rather, somehow got my dad's number and called and was like, and then he had to come and get me at 4 a.m. and was like, oh, hey, so you got a call. And I told him, no one who has any business with me should have your number. This stuff, I don't know how that's out there. Sounds more like a dark web scam type situation to me. So, Yeah, that has me kind of concerned. Usually people want to reach out to me on Instagram because you can't message people on YouTube. No, my dad's phone number should not be tied to me in any way, so that seems weird. New to here, but what was the anime you were referring to earlier? I've got it behind my backdrop. I can't reach it. Fatal Fury the movie. Based on the, well, it's not long running. It had a lot of installments in the 90s. Had a good run in the 90s fighting franchise from SNK. They still do King of Fighters. Terry Bogard and Mai are being added to Street Fighter 6. I think Terry Bogard may be there really soon. I think he might be getting added on like the 25th, I think. It's kind of a weird deal. So yeah, that was and also strangely enough, he's facing a big red machine, the SNK Neo Geo cabinet on his select screen when you're selecting him in arcade mode. I wonder if he's seated in playing Fatal Fury on the Japanese version, because the Japanese arcade you sit down rather than stand. Standing at an arcade is, I guess, an American thing. I think Americans so lazy, sit down, but no, not so much. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And I see things people talk about. May she jiggles? She's probably the first female fighter in games to jiggle. That doesn't mean that things that I saw happening in the movie needed to happen, really. Be right back. Okay. So what, should I hit pause? I wonder a pause to play an ad button, because that's kind of crazy. Isn't it? You know, did I say this could be monetized? What I probably did, but the point I was getting at here, hold on. Okay, so I guess that button just turns your camera off for a second. I've got to mute, turn the camera around, and then what's that? Oh yeah, that's right. Highlight the, save a highlight, like that needed to be saved. And then what if I hit, oh, I can do a poll for you guys. What kind of poll are we going to have? Well, you know, I did see that there is a Devil May Cry animated series coming to Netflix. So I'm going to anime or animated series. It seems like the animated series is the Western version of the highbrow cartoon, because the first thing you said as such is Batman the Animated Series, right? So when it's a, but unfortunately, all the animated look like Velma, whereas an anime, modern anime at least look like Velma. So, all right, let's see what you guys vote on this. Anime animated series, which is it? I'm not sure with that. Most anime series I don't really care for. Then again, most animated series, if it's elevated beyond a cartoon, don't really think I watch a lot of that either. Tried to watch Caped Crusade's most recent animated series. I can think of, if could we elevate X-Men, Fox's X-Men, to animated series status, or is that a cartoon? It's not. It's G.I. Joe skirts the line, doesn't it? G.I. Joe feels a little more cartoon than animated series. That series has to have some artistic integrity to it, doesn't it? Whereas G.I. Joe is just something we're punching out. Transformers, I try. Look, you can't go back to stuff. It can't be done. I tried a few years back to try to watch Transformers G1 series. and it's just like, what the hell is this? It's just, it felt haphazard, random, poorly animated. There's a scene where like Optimus Prime, and this is early, like while they're on Cybertron, while they're fighting and getting ready to leave Cybertron, it repeated a shot, like a sequence again. A sequence got repeated. In addition, at some point, Optimus Prime was talking and they had a different voice, like they thought it was somebody else talking. And it was weird. It was like, oh, I guess we're doing, hell, we got to get this out. The toy line's coming. Hurry, put something out. It's ours now. We got to get this. Come on, move it, people. Like, that's the idea. Okay. Rising goes, I'm getting raked over the coals for being positive about the game. I guess this was one of the games that we were told we were supposed to not like because wokeness changed things. There's a butcher that doesn't look particularly Chinese, has a Chinese, Asian line, whatever. But oh yeah, because he was such an Asian caricature. It was a racist caricature. We have to change that. So they changed it up. You no longer have the erotica when you take pictures down blouses of Jesse. Uh, there might actually be less, and I think this is unconfirmed, and maybe there's fewer in them all. They're certainly not nearly as aggressive. The game has gotten a lot easier. I did go and complete the overtime, leveled up a little bit, went back into the game. The overtime is post-game coda where you get the true ending and you have to fight Spec Op guys. They're kicking my ass. They stun lock you with their machine gun, but I got a disembowel punch move. Punch them in the gut, pull the guts out. One hit kill, works on zombies, humans, maybe boss fight, not so much. Might be boss dependent. But yeah, once you get to certain skills, you can kind of just do what you want in the game. And once you're fast enough, zombies can't catch up with you too well. It's all about opening doors quickly before you get attacked. But single player game that was really quite enjoyable, and I still need to get like all the survivors. That will be a challenge, no doubt. Hey, for joining me, we're talking about whatever ends up being games, movies, or which actress do you think is hotter? Is usually what I get asked. So, yeah, keep the questions coming. Vote. Do you prefer anime or animated series? Don't really favor either. I feel like there's good anime, there are good animated series, and there's a lot of bad for both. But some people like a specific thing. You can say you're a fan of anime. Okay, well, what about the bad stuff, right? Well, I guess they don't like a specific, they like a type. But, I mean, I can't say I like movies. I hate most of them, it feels like. Though, a long time since I caught up with my IMDb voting history. But it seemed like the majority of things skewed closer to 7, so it's not like a full-on hate of everything. But that's really kind of the way IMDb works, is it kind of just averages everything out to 11 in a way. Oh man, that movie sucks. It came out as a 7.8. Oh, well, after 3 years, it's a 7.8, so it must be pretty good. This big assumption, everything just takes a hit once everybody can see it for free on Tubi, I guess. Yeah. So I guess I should have had the Fatal Fury beautiful steelbook Blu-ray packaging. Transfer's good. Just even if you're a diehard fan of the SE Fatal Fury series, you might have problems with just the Mai's been exploited. But it feels kind of like she was added to the series to serve that purpose. Chun-Li, not so much. I feel like Chun-Li is not necessarily supposed to be a sex symbol purposefully. So, yeah, just weird Japanese stuff, I guess. All right, new to here, B, when you going to be doing that second B? It's not lively in here. I guess we're going to have to stop doing this. I did run a poll. What do you guys prefer, podcast or stream? And the poll probably doesn't have any votes. Podcast has almost, it's got single digit viewers. The live stream is getting increasingly less popular. And it could be that YouTube is never putting the effort into marketing stuff as it was. Like Instagram was really pushing the reels, and I was getting 25,000 views on reels within 10 minutes of post. And then they took away the bonus incentive to make them, bring that back years later, but the views are not there. And it's like, you put the same amount of effort, you get single digit views. Why bother? Do a YouTube video, it'll be found in search results. So that's more of where I'm inclined to go with this. Kind of digging that light right there. May have to consider doing something like that in the future. Maybe I could. I actually have a couple of these. I don't really want to move that right now, do I? I picked these up on Amazon as a replacement for the light I was using for a few years. Better battery life, better magnet on the back so it can stick on more things. And I got 2 of them real cheap. I think 12 bucks a piece, something like that. More expensive option that had Bluetooth so you could control them with an app, but I don't feel inclined to need to change the light around in that way. So yeah, we're kind of going with that. We've got a vote in our poll. Somebody accidentally voted. What did the results say? Anime over animated series. I guess the way to look at that is Elma is definitely not an anime. Therefore, the animes may be the favorite. Okay, how do I get the poll off my screen now? There we go. I don't know. Can I pin poll to the top so when people join, they vote? New to here, I think you're the only one here. You might want to update that username. It's just me, hey, I'm only one here. I think I need to rebrand the channel. How about the name Why Bother? Because I'm not doing the jog vlogs anymore, and physiology is definitely taking a dip on that. Like, if I went running, I'd probably just have time walking for the rest of the week. I still frequently, at least once or twice a week, hit the exercise bike, which I'll probably after the stream, and then shower and prep for the stream tomorrow, which might start in the evening. Let's see if it's going to be 3 hours, the 7-Day Survivor. I don't know. I could start that at my usual time of 7:30. It takes 3 hours. Surely I'll be done before that. I think we can give that a shot. I think we can do that. Because I was thinking if I'm going to do it on Saturday and it's a 14-hour stream, as it used to be, that could be a serious problem. I keep offering different ideas in other streams, but you keep shooting them down, man. What are the different ideas? Like, I can't have a co-host. This is a one-person stream setup here, and it can only be done on the phone. I can't bring out my good camera, and I've had trouble trying to get my good audio going with this. So, because it needs to feed into the camera in a way that'll work without lag and stuff, so kind of seems like Shike is the way to go. And I don't know a lot of people who are going to be up to guesting. And the trouble is when you try to work with anybody that you're not paying, you have to work on their time. If they're able to do this, they'll say yes, and then they'll flake out. Typically. I can try to list ideas from memory. Well, you can try, but yeah, I feel myself a little pulled back to getting Disney Plus again because I want to watch X-Men 97, and there's a possibility that before the end of the year, Deadpool and Wolverine will be on there. Inglorious 4K HDR, right? But don't really want to give Disney a lot of money. They have a special right now. It's like basically $2 a month for 3 months with ads. However, you do get the 4K HDR, but I don't know how true the ads are during a movie. I do know this. I would be willing to pay for the no ads if I could pay the difference, but not price. The price is going up. Unless I'm mistaken, it's going up to something like $16 a month or $20 a month or something for plus no ads. Was the plan to get everybody hooked on a streaming service or a litany of them and then jack it up? Oh, now that you cut cable, there's no turning back. That's why I suggested befriending a friend, suggesting a friend to add some banter, sort of straight man, funny man routine. Your style seems deadpan snarky. I mean, I can kind of do a few things. Like if you have, look, I live in Kansas. For viable co-hosts here are not a lot. Most people don't do this sort of thing because they're working in a factory or serving food. So they're going to be bad on camera or voiced on a podcast. And people don't have the free time to do these sort of things outside of work and watch over some kids that they had. That's about the way it goes down. And also, when you start teaming up with people, you got to be responsible for all their stuff. Oh, she said something against somebody on Twitter. Now she has to get canceled. Now you're expected to have a statement about it. They're coming after you. Like, things like that happen. Now, I wouldn't mind being a guest on somebody's thing. I've done a few guest appearances on stuff. And hell, being a somewhat infrequent contributor, bad either. A lot of the places I reach out to, of course, the idea being they have a bigger audience, so if their audience finds out about me, they get to become my audience. They're not interested in shit because they want people with millions of subscribers or they don't even talk to them. So, why bother, right? Oh, but you have to have a British accent so you can get on the movie watching channels. So you can do the drinkers after bar rescue, whatever he calls it, bar. Yeah, you get and man, the whole movie YouTube thing has gone to shit. It has just been like taken over by the British and the Irish and stuff. They talk weird, so you think they have authority, whereas all the Americans sound stupid. These guys trick you into thinking they sound smart. Just running roughshod over YouTube movie genre stuff over here. It's a real shame. Then gaming is just all streaming. All watch me play Minecraft. Watch me play the new thing for a minute. But or hot chick, low cut shirt, get scared, playing Resident Evil. You can't make reviews about stuff because now what do you do next? Oh, you have to beat the next game that comes out really quick, make a review while it's still being searched frenetically. It is a ton of work. So nobody does that anymore. They just rather, let's talk about the rumors. Concord cost $400 million. It didn't cost Sony $400 million. They bought it, I think it was in an alpha state by the time they acquired the company making it. Now, I have to wonder if they knew they were going to spend $400 million on this, and they went to market with it. They thought they were going to money, because the platforms it's on what? It was on Steam and PlayStation 5. It could have been PlayStation 4 and 5. I'm not sure about that entirely. So you have a possible base there, but like the big cross-platform thing going, unless you consider the PC market, really hoping for a lot there. Then there's the reports they thought this was going to be like their big IP, like this is going to be like the next Star Wars for them, but in gaming. You have to wonder, why didn't they go the Warner Brothers route, right? Just cancel it without releasing it to the public and get that tax write-off. Oh, we claim a $400 million tax write-off. May as well make that subject a reel, right? How's this streamline your channel content to movie? How's this streamline your channel? Okay, how's this, comma, streamline your channel content to movie commentary tracks and save the rest on your video Friday night rants? Ooh. That would be efficient. Throw in some shorts. I've been throwing in shorts. I try to have 5 uploads a week, if not a little more. Sometimes the shorts I consider an upload. So there's that. Key thing is, there are things that I feel like I would like to chime on quicker, and I do like having a library of things I've reviewed, and I don't think I could do the movie review and the game review in one live stream with it sitting right with YouTube and things. So I mean, I am looking at trying to get some of the news topical stuff kind of down. I mean, I would rather not have to have everything be timely. I'd rather have, okay, I'm searching for a review of this game. Here you go. Or, hey, weird thing, and then someone comes across it, right? News stuff, gossip, rumors about Concord, like that's going to be relevant for a day, right? So it's very tricky to figure out what you want to do over here. And if I stick to doing just one thing, I'm going to get burned out again, which has happened times. Short will attract... Okay, hold on. You said here. Also, you could try Saturday instead of Friday. I'm not sure if that would... It could... I know everybody acts like everyone's busy on Friday nights. Like, you can't run a TV show on Friday nights. No one watches it. Yet here I was watching Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step as a kid all the time. Short will attract a different audience entirely is what I have heard from other YouTubers. That might be the case. I was hoping it would get people to see, like, tomorrow I'm going to put out a short highlighting something in Dead Rising, and then click on it to see my full review. The goal being that the short's a lot of views quickly. Maybe people will, and people do subscribe from watching shorts. But then, maybe they're only interested in shorts. Now, YouTube tell you should add shorts to your whole, like, lineup. Or you should transform every upload in some capacity. YouTube tells me a lot of things that then don't work. Hey, we want videos that are a minute long. Said this to me like in 2009 or something. And then it's like, okay, fine. Oh, wait, by the way, changed our mind. We want 45-minute long videos people don't watch, but they listen to. And then that counts as minutes viewed. So it is... look, if you're not a hot shit, hard to be on the internet. And then, of course, like product reviews I want to do. Can't really put that in the live stream. That shadow right there is making my eyebrows look even thicker than normal, which is kind of creeping me out. Oh, man. I am looking into getting a fight stick, an arcade fight stick for fighters. There's 2 on the market for Xbox. There's an 8-bit Do. Not call it Do. It's Nintendo, not Nintendo. And that's clearly why they called their company such. And then there's one by Mayflash. Now, the Mayflash has an advantage in that, well, despite costing $50 extra, is Mac compatible, and I do some stuff with Redream. Though when I've tried streaming that, froze up quite a bit, so might have to wait till I get fiber and the... Well, then again, that... kind of me wonder if that is a Mac thing. If my M2 Pro chip, and it's only a year old, is not good enough to stream a Dreamcast title. But yeah. But with the fight stick, the thing that bothers me is the Mayflash one's called an F700X. Now they have an Elite line where they SanWa stick and buttons in for you, and have like the base is like a full non-skid instead of just at 4 tips at the corners. If I'm going to have this thing sitting on lap because I like to face the TV rather than sit at a desk, I'd rather have the non-stick pad across the whole thing with the superior buttons and stuff from the get-go. But they don't offer an F700X Elite. In fact, the reason there's only 2 Fight Sticks on the market until Street Fighter 6 came out, and that's when the 8-bit Do Fight Stick came out, there wasn't a Street Fighter for the Xbox One gen. Well, yeah, for the Xbox One through Series gen for the time. And so they said, oh, anybody that plays fighting games is going to be on a PS4. So we put this on a PS4. Why bother making it for Xbox at all? And that's what they did. So no one bothered to make an Xbox compliant fight stick until recently. And they're probably going to say, hey, well, enough F700Xs to justify making an F700 Elite, which means I would then have to go buy the parts and learn how to solder or some shit. Actually, there's 5-pin connectors. I don't know if I want to make a project out of it, just so that I can get my ass handed to me in some fight games. But not so much for Street Fighter 6. I'd be using this to play maybe the Darkstalkers collection, MVC2, older Street Fighters, maybe. I kind of want to get ready for Justin Wong. He is known as the Whizzler or the Wazzler. And he has the top spot in MVC2's leader on the Switch, PC, and the PlayStation. And when the game comes to Xbox, you know damn well he's going to want that spot too. Now, I'm not saying I'm standing in his way, but I want to give him a shot. Happy if I do some damage to him. So that is my fight stick goal right there. Okay, so what else do we have here? Looking at my new smile, I got my teeth fixed. I feel like they're worse or something. I don't know. They used to seem straighter. I don't know what happened. But I never had braces, and for the longest time it looked like I never needed them, but now I kind of can knit. I don't know. It is really easy to transfer your content to Odyssey. I don't even know what the hell that is. Is that Rumble or a Substack, like another thing I have to keep up with and answer questions over there? I don't get into TikTok because it's kind of like enough filled. I actually, okay, tell you what, YouTube ain't gonna pay attention to this. I'm doing a lot of survey search shit for YouTube right now. And one I got today, they said, hey, we have a study for you. If you qualify, we'll give you $100. Like, fine. So it's like about the comments. I think that their plan, they want to do something with the comments, because it's like, how often do you reply to comments on these platforms? How often do you look at on YouTube? Why do you look at the comments? And for them to be asking that, are they thinking about removing the comments? Because here's the thing. The big channels don't care about you. Give them money with the super chat and they'll read your comment. Otherwise, they don't give a shit. Small channels, we're over there. Oh, hey, please keep coming back. Please, can you hit the like button? Okay, yeah. Hey, thank you. Bow emoji, all that shit. All it does is just get us walked on. Because it's like, look at this idiot engaging in the comments. Now I'm going to roast him. How many people have actually subscribed to my channel because I answered their question, right? Just hundreds of hours spent answering the questions in the comments section. Probably for nothing. Just to look like a loser. Oh, this guy will actually the comments. What a loser. So YouTube's probably actually looking at getting rid of that. And like people say, and that idiots will misrepresent this. They got rid of the dislike button. No, they didn't. It's still there. They got rid of the dislike counter. There is a difference. And my channel, I can attest to this. The discs are way down since they got rid of the counter that showed people pile on and get gratification to add to the total. Prior to that, it was something like, I know it was a high ass number. It might have been like 68% dislike and it's way down now. It's like less than 25% dislikes. Um, if not even more than that. People just, they like to pile on. They're like, oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, everybody else hates this? I guess I should hate it too. Dislike. YouTube, you put the most effort into making content on this platform and you have a damn dislike. Instagram doesn't have a dislike. Now you can put some reels out on, people hit like, or they don't hit dislike and then ruin your week or some shit. So yeah, these are things that YouTube right there. I guess I can talk about, well, there's a confidentiality agreement, but they haven't me into that study yet. So I'm just speculating on that one. The other thing I'm doing involves AI, and it seems like it's not ready yet, that I can really say. But YouTube is looking at some AI to help creators. And I'm just like, I can see through it. So the other dummies in the study are probably going to think it's amazing. I wish you brother. Hold on. What? How's this? You are going to start fresh. What content be making? YouTube, YouTube, you could make anything and you had a chance. And people were making so much original content. They don't make original content. People react to listening to Def Leppard's Photograph for the first time. They react to a damn trailer for the next Marvel movie or the Devil May Cry animated series coming. And if you're thinking along the lines of, hey, I want to get popular, okay, go do that. Do you need more of that shit on the platform? Because all that garbage react to the news stuff has greated anybody's possibility of getting discovered for doing something genuine around here. And you're not supposed to say that. So shit. Oh, I miss you, brother. Yeah, miss and wish. A bit different there. What is your opinion on TV? Never heard of her. Is she hot? Is she like J. Nicholson? Kind of like a weird cuteness thing? I don't know. I don't know this clownfish chick. All right, we got 3 votes on the poll. Everyone prefers anime. And is Velma the reason no one likes the animated series? Like, we have to consider that, right? Because you would not call Velma but you know what? Okay. Is The Simpsons a cartoon or an animated series? It is not necessarily for kids. And now I've got the poll up here and I can't make it go away. Go away, poll. Oh, shit. I see you replied nope. Maybe it goes away after a few seconds. You'd say, Matthew Clark says it's a cartoon. Anime and animated are not the same Japanese. That is supposed to be the idea. But I'm wondering, is The Simpsons a cartoon or animated series? It's on prime time. If we extend that as something to define an animated series, consider Stones was on prime time. So that's something to consider. Oh, by the way, this is the Sparkling Kiwi Guava. Celsius. Pro Celsius really tastes the same. They all taste like ginseng green sort of stuff because I think they get their I think tea leaves is probably the source of their caffeine. So Sin you'd say is an animated series. So Hank Hill, you know the meme? Hank Hill is your favorite anime, you just don't realize it. Or is it an animated series? Now look, I have posited this that the whole reason Disney acquired Fox was to launch King of the Hill cinematic universe. It hasn't happened yet, but maybe it will. I've been hearing talk for at least 2 they're bringing it back. Do we write off Luann? Brittany Murphy voiced the blonde. Was it Luann, blonde girl? I think she did. I know Bobby's voiced by a girl, a woman who's like 50-ish now. How do I get rid of the poll on my damn screen? Okay, finally. One specific spot. Shit. Okay, Western cartoons often lack detail, though anime has lost a lot of that is understandable. And look, if you watch the Fatal Fury, you will see what I mean. In close up, look, in the box art, wow, this looks promising. It does look like that in extreme close ups, looks really good. From this far away, things start to get a little more forward, and then further back, they look like damn stick figures. It is not Studio Ghibli grade, that's for sure. Ghibli, it might actually be pronounced Ghibli. Oh, I think Maserati says Ghibli. That was Brittany Murphy. She died. Yeah. Okay. So it was Luann. I haven't really watched enough King of the Hill. I have Hulu. It's one of those things I want to kind of complete at some point. But when you have an S-load of episodes, it is a daunting task. Is it not? You say Ghibli. I believe Ghibli was as I heard it on a Disney released DVD when Disney was doing. They have Blu-rays also. Like I got Nazca of the Valley of the Wind on Blu-ray not that long ago, and I think in the feature section they have somebody, hype up the other studio, Ghibli as they called it, I believe. But I don't think Maserati, who make a Ghibli car, I think they call it Ghibli. So I don't. Let's name our studio after a wind. Why? Because every other movie is going to be about wind power, right? Would you be willing to move to Thailand and marry a Thai chick? My guilty pleasure movie is The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. So Thailand seems appealing for that reason. But he knock boots with a Thai chick. No, he got a French girl. So not a lot of Thai chicks in that movie. But you're probably look, the way they affected the plastic surgery or something, they got a guys looking like girls and they're seemingly passing so in a manner in which to extort guys. They want guys to think they're actually women and then surprise. So I would rather not. Now, when it comes to white girls and white guys, it's a little more apparent that you're looking at an actual dude. But there are some who I feel like are going out of their way to try to see how close, like the goal is how many guys can I trick? And it's not to, and the guys that fall for it are not necessarily gay, like it's a trick. So I would rather just deal with that at this point. If I see maybe the Korean Asian chicks look pretty good right now, but they're so damn pale. Like Christ. But pale's in now. When I was in high school, tan was the thing. I think I'm more tan than this cool lit light overhead suggests. So, but yeah, I mean, I got to work out the weirdest thing was the first time I set this up. Looked amazing. I can never set up the lights the exact same way again for some reason. Never results. I don't know. Get an Asian Mexican known as a Filipino. Oh, is that what? Well, I guess if you think about it, Filipinos are kind of like Asian Mexicans. Would you move to Puerto Rico and date a girl from there? There was a... Oh, how many details should I give? There was a reality TV assistant from Puerto Rico who was into me. But that's not to say that there's a lot of hot girls over there. In fact, I really don't know what their game is like over there. Will I go over there and will I be like Shaq? I'm sorry I wasn't familiar. There are babes aplenty over here. I don't know. So, what's the worst superhero movie you've ever seen? Christ. Well, it would be a Marvel film. The Flash, look, here's the problem. People want to shit on The Flash because it was thrown under the bus by its own studio. And the way they did that was they said, yeah, that stuff's not going to count. We're going to do something new. Oh, but that thing that is coming. Oh, it's the greatest ever made. It's the best superhero movie I've ever seen. Yeah, that'll get people to show up. Yeah, tell them it's great and that there's supposed to be a long intertwined story arc that we're just skipping. Tell them that. The Flash is not. Look, all the look, I haven't seen all the DC EU stuff, but what I've seen from it that was bad was not necessarily worse than what I Marvel. Batman: Dawn of Justice versus Superman of Justice, not good. It's not worse than the Avengers stuff. Christ, that. But look, if we're okay, build to one movie. I've seen Captain Marvel. Next question. Uh, did you like did you like Watchmen? Oh, like do I like to watch a guy at the Thai parlor? No, I think you mean Watchmen with Zack Snyder. I have somewhere. I have the graphic novel on paperback, and I've been meaning to read it and haven't gotten to it. And I picked that up like 10 years ago because I was under the impression that it was something was lost in translation. That a lot of these comic book stories that are adapted to the screen, the adapt is where it falls apart. The truth is, the pace at which you read the action and observe it, and you read things out, and you have your own voice for how you imagine there's the sound, and then someone else gives you that vision on screen, and it doesn't look with the way you think it should. So a lot of these comic book films that are actually taking the stories from the comics, they leave something out the runtime, and then you're like confused. Like shit, why you got the guy Ozymandias walking around with some kind of exotic animal that doesn't exist, never explained in the damn movie. Oh, maybe it comes up in the director's cut, which watch. And that shit will clip. I know I've said that before in talking about comic book movies, but it needs to be a short on YouTube, does it not? Salt Lake City. They are hot white women and marry you quick. Considered, nowhere has an industry anymore. Everybody's just online, right? If you're doing anything like this, if we call this a thing. But I don't know if they're that. Now, look, I had some Mormons in my high school, and the problem is my damn high school. I know everybody thinks they're high school babes, but my high school was like an anime, okay? There was a girl I called the human anime in high school, and she was not even like, she was fringe top 10 hot chick, okay? And gave me a restraining order, and I wasn't even into her. Anyways, there were a couple of Mormon girls, and they looked pretty good. I'm assuming they have grants by now. You know the way they run business, right? Yes, DC was worse than Avengers. No, it was not. Avengers Endgame is really goddamn bad. Avengers Infinity War is maybe much better. The first Avengers movie sucks. It looks like an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It looks like a TV series because of the lighting, not because of the go super wide. And instead they feel like a typical widescreen TV. But that the justification is that Hulk is interacting with short ass Scarlett Johansson. They have to get both of them in the frame. It's understandable. The original that I like a lot is actually not the super wide. So, but it doesn't look like a damn movie, and it's just high school infighting. I want to be in charge of the Avengers. No, I do. Loki doesn't like a damn threat. They fight nameless, faceless. Essentially, they fight the enemy they fight is the putty from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Prove me wrong. I do a short based on the Avengers actually sucked, and I'll get the damn clips if I sign up for Disney Plus. Get that if they let me not have to pay full price. Okay, I'll pay the difference between the ad free and what. Shit. And it doesn't help that my experience with the Avengers, I was watching it at a theater in Oak City that I was warned pre-hand that the air conditioning went out. So it was a hot-ass theater. And, well, because the air conditioner was out and I did get quite the severe headache afterwards, there wasn't but 3 people in the theater. And that was like opening weekend. But that movie made like $1 billion. Okay, sure, Disney. Right. Uh, Zack Snyder film is correct. Look, I'll give Zack Snyder this. His shot composition mirrors the framing of pages in the layout of a comic book way better than other directors do. The Russo brothers are just hired, willing to take the fall in case something went wrong with Captain America: Civil War, and they Yumi and Dupree their way up the ladder and lucked out, and they aren't visitors or anything. They just, yeah, we'll make your movie. And that's a really damn cookie cutter over there. At least Zack Snyder's stuff kind of looks like somebody cared, competently or not. But yeah. But The Hulk 2003 is the first MCU film. Fight me. Otherwise, The Incredible Hulk has no reason being in South America at the beginning of that film in 2008. Prove me wrong. That's a real for sure. I know I mentioned my video, which got copyright striked by Sony, I think. No, you're using too many clips, green guy. That was in the comic. I don't think they explained it. In the comic, I mean, okay, he genetically modified something, but you can't have a fictional creature in 1985 New York City and act like, oh yeah, well, it's the only one. It's not like there was a ton of them elsewhere and everybody had one and they rode them to work. Okay. You can't have something like that in a real world scenario, alternate timeline, and be like, let's not explain it. Pissed me off. Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were the worst superhero movies I've seen. No, Man of Steel has its moments, but is not a depiction of Superman. That I can say. But I feel like the MCU has done worse. How is that worse than Captain Marvel? Was good. Was there anything? Name one good about Captain Marvel. She went into Blockbuster. That doesn't count. The first Avengers does suck, I agree. Watch it again, people. You like it because you now like the characters. That's about it. You have to look outside of, do you like the Loki series? Well, here's some early action. Look outside of that and go, is this a damn movie? What are they doing? Oh, they killed Agent Coulson, whose name I don't think anyone knew until he died. Could they recall his damn name? Shit. As quickly we see, what difference does that make? We have a way to bring people back. Because comic books, it's adapted from other things, and people back, and no one permanently dies over there in the written pages, so let's screw shit up cinematic pages, or releases, whatever. There's just no stakes, right? What will you do if you wrote a combat movie? Honestly, can you even top the 1995 combat film? You can't. And I'm not saying it's a damn masterpiece, but consider the following. The first techno soundtrack to top the charts, the very first one, Mortal Kombat, the motion picture soundtrack. It brought dance music to America in that regard. And hell, I had it on cassette. Listen to that with my gaming grandma. But you couldn't do that. You couldn't duplicate that with the new Mortal Kombat film. Effect. I've heard a lot of things. Now, look, even from the people that were making Goro, the Goro looks amazing. Sometimes the mouth doesn't look like it moves fast enough, but to keep up with voicing, talk purposely slow, and it works good enough for me. But What, Lyndon Ashby was fun in it. Everybody was fine. Shit, I'll even give you Christopher Lambert as Raiden. Hell, some say Raiden and stuff. If you tried to make that movie today, it would look like garbage. I know there's a new one. I've heard horrible. It's available on some streaming service, and I've skipped it. So I know you're not going to beat the soundtrack, so why even bother as far as that's concerned, right? 2003 was bad. No, it was not, but funny because of Nick Nolte's. Nick Nolte was fun, crazy, yes. That movie took a lot of risks with the editing. It was edited to look like a comic book. Every audience was ready for that. But, and I know it looks like CGI, even when he's smashing a CGI tank and all that shit. But the action in Hulk 2003 is way more thrilling than the vast majority of action in the modern comic book stuff. Not because it's real, but because the stakes have been raised to the point where everything is mundane. Iron Man learning to fly is a novel thing. We're still treating flying as special. In Captain Marvel, she just does. There's no, and I think I brought this up in my review. At one point, she has to fly a plane out of a hangar, and there's like some explosion happening. If Steven Spielberg made it, there would have been like this Rube Goldberg effect. There would be, oh, this thing's over here, and now we have to do this, but rescue this person, then get out of here. There'd be a thing. There'd be a series of events, and it would heighten the tension. Instead, just flies out. That's the problem with the MCU. There really aren't stakes. There's no tension. The comedy oftentimes is bad. And, we gotta like it because they wear the appropriate uniforms they had, or the comic books. They're finally doing that. When you see how bad shit's got, now you realize why Bryan Singer put Wolverine in a black leather getup, along with all the other X-Men. And that made sense to me in 2000. Slowly go into that world. Okay, we don't want to annihilate everybody. Black is cool. Matrix was really cool. We'll put them in black. There we go. It's still X-Men. I haven't seen Captain Marvel. Yes. Sounds like an improvement right there. So I can't say anything, but I'll take your word that it's off. I stopped watching the MCU after the first Avengers. Although I do love Deadpool. I liked the first Deadpool. There are things I don't like about it. It has a very, especially of its time. Actually, this is even more on the tail end where we're kind of figuring shit out better. But the color correction on it has this tinge that seems so inauthentic that it bothers me. But Ryan Reynolds gets grating. And herein lies the problem. I can withstand Deadpool as the main character in one movie, but Deadpool 2, it's too much. And I'm concerned that they've only amped it up in the third. That's kind of why I've been avoiding it, because it's going to just be a plethora of redo, fan service, nostalgia bait, memories, all that stuff. And you have to hear Ryan Reynolds quips. And I mean, I say I'm kind of sick of it, but he's kind of gone unhinged the quippiness as Deadpool. And I used to watch his old TV show, Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place on ABC. That every time I see him, I think of him as from that. Unbeknownst to me, he was on a Canadian soap opera, Shotio, in the 90s, like early 90s. Alongside the girl that was the naked alien in The Faculty. She was on the show also. But it was like a daytime soap on Nickelodeon. And Nickelodeon, all the damn time, I have no recollection of this show. It was just called... it was called 15. I think that's what it was called. And that was like his first gig. I think he said he got paid like $100 a day. It gets a little more than that, I think. Let's take a look at our poll. Anime, 80%. Somebody said animated series. I guess, the King of the Hill logic, right? You got to think, hey, if King of the Hill isn't anime, how are we going to really decide, right? Yeah, word for it on Caption Marvel. No redeeming qualities. Was she green or blue? The Asian chick from the Eternals was like, I think her name was like Navara. Rimmac Navara. Yeah, that's it. She's the only character that dies. But she looked hot. Oh, actually, Christ. Eternals. Oh, man, that... God. Oh. The Asian and the Ten Rings? Jesus Christ. Between the three of those, you can't win. Trash. And look, I didn't even get around to reviewing those. I couldn't bring myself to go back and get clips of that. Asian and the Ten Rings has an unseriousness to it. It has Aquafina as his sidekick. It brings in Michelle Yeoh as why not? Because Asians. We have to have her. They're two sides of the coin. One of them is pretentious but incompetent, and that's Eternals. The other one is just unrefined blandness and forgettable. It's just an outright bland, hey, it's Asian. And that's Asian in the Ten Rings, whatever his name was. Eternals. They thought they were making like Titanic or something. Like, this will be the Marvel movie that wins some Oscars. Wait and see. Like, that's what they thought they were doing. Oh, Christ. And the direction is so bad. Hey, they let an Asian girl win an Oscar for directing in a year in which no one made movies except this broad. She went to like Canada and filmed that Frances McDormand taking a piss. So let's give her an Oscar. Hell, now that happened, movie to direct. With an Asian lead, yep, and it'll be kind of romantic or something. There's an incompetent scene early in the film, right at the very, very start. A caveman is fishing, has a son, and they're fishing, and a sea creature comes out to attack them, and the caveman just turns around, and it's like, did they not invent? Was this so early human they didn't have exclamation? They a sense of urgency. They weren't scared. Just kind of like a, oh, go, run. And I can't fault anybody for that performance out of even a featured extra or whatever, other than the director. The Chinese director, who just got an Oscar film, is The Eternals. And it is like her fault that you got that bad of a take into the film. You don't have a sense that bad in Captain Marvel. Between the three of those, look, how come, and you're probably not supposed to say this, but if people love franchises so much, how come they're doing terrorist activities because the franchise got bad? Like, because Star Wars is so bad now, I have to go to McDonald's. Like, don't misquote. I'm saying, how come this hasn't occurred yet? The way we seem to be directed to think that other people's storytelling is the most important thing in our life. We have to give them our money so we can be represented in all this. And then you give a shit product. Does that not account to, is there not a body count to suicide for that? Right? As though somebody killed themselves because Star Wars became total crap. Oh, you know what? Here's a way to fix Star Wars. What if Rey Palpatine has a a white son who is more amazing than her. Shit. Yeah, hell, clip 2. Make that a damn short. Here's how I'd fix Star Wars. Rey has a white son who is amazing. Got to go back and look at these clips and make sure I write them all down, right? My autocorrect made my misspelling of Captain funnier. I know. Captain Marvel, he's a hero. I'm gonna take the bad guys down to 0. What is that? That's a theme from something. Is that Captain Planet? I think that's Captain Planet, right? The power is yours. Earth, wind, fire, heart. What? Indian, maybe you can sit this out. You know, like, isn't that kind of the way? Earth, wind, water, heart. Would that? Oh, geez, the hard one, man. Was Captain Marvel the first woke cartoon? Because it served as essentially a PSA. Like, we're trying to get a message to the kids, and then can we turn that into a series? That's probably the most successful, right? Because it's like, hey, we're going to have funding from Wildlife Con or something. You don't get that message cartoon anymore, full stop. But I can't even think of another one that worked in that way. It would usually be limited to like a video. Hey, I'm an animated tooth and I'm telling you how to brush your teeth, some shit, right? That's kind of what you got. But with Captain Planet, it was like full-on cartoon, I think multiple seasons. Subsidized through, we have a positive message, Whoopi Goldberg's going to be here to tell you about shit, whatever, right? Something like that happens. I don't think I've watched more than a couple of episodes of Captain, but it was something everybody knew about, and you'd come across it, and then you'd go find something to do outside. Oh, Captain Planet's on. All right, they did the jingle. Let's go shoot some hoops. Isn't that about the way that works? All right, guys, we're going to wind this down at the 90-minute mark, which I don't even think anyone's here to listen to me get to, but yeah. We've complained about Marvel. Look, and I know there's a lot more of these MCU films than there is DEU. But between Captain Marvel, The Eternals, and Ten Rings, there's been a couple I haven't seen, but I haven't ran across a DCEU film worse than those. Like, really damn awful. So that's what I know about that. And it's kind of bad that Zack Snyder used Watchmen as his tryout for Spider-Man and Batman and stuff. Like, oh, hey, I'll show you guys what I can do with these guys that look kind of like knockoff versions of, you know, your marquee guys. But hey, if I show you what looks whatever, and it kind of looks like Batman 89, then maybe you'll let me have the keys, right? And they did. And look how that turned out, right? Though, shit, the Justice League Zack Snyder cut is way better than any of the Avengers films. And it seems like comparison in a way because, you know, incredibly long runtime. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. Sneak in your votes on the poll. We're up to 5 votes each week. I have fewer and fewer people coming by these streams, and it's kind of confusing. I thought that I was doing everything right. I thought I was giving you decent audio, not a lot of dead air. I'm not even eating snacks during the stream. Maybe I need to wear a bikini, and then the people will show up. Or put rainbow emojis in the title to draw in that crowd, right? And maybe I can sucker in some donuts. 1 minute to go, and now everybody's showing up. Okay, so hey, post something quick, questions, whatever. I gotta get to. I gotta do a light workout. I've got to get to that blaster. I need to kill like 20,000 more zombies and Rising to get that Mega Man blaster, so I can make use of that on my live stream tomorrow when I go for the 7-Day Survivor, which no one will watch on Twitch. Get a poster of Jenna Ortega in a thong and people will come. And just hold that up and talk behind it. Does she wear a thong? Like, I haven't seen her in anything skimpy. Is that something that's going to come out on season 2 of Wednesday? Hey, everybody, we have to go swimming. But I don't swim. You know, something like that, right? And then the joke would be has the most revealing swimwear. Imagining her body is more of a small child body, not even, you know, she's not Sydney Sweeney, right? Yeah, get the poster. I'll look online for the poster. All right, so I guess that about does it over here. I'll probably wear this shirt again tomorrow during the stream or whatever, because I just put it on for this. So there we go. All right, you made it this far. Wait until marriage. Counseling. Or Jessica Alba. Prime Jessica Alba. Let's look at the poll, actually. Anime wins 80-20. Hey, I don't make the rules. Oh, now show up as I'm about to hit the end button? I'm hitting the end button anyway.